Okay, we're rolling. Likutei Moharan, Torah Daled. So, we said that this particular Nekuda is that the tzaddik lifts the neshamas all the way up.
Yigimel. Right up to Yud
Gimel, I said.
You said Yud.
Well, I must have been kidding. Yud Gimel. Sorry about that. Okay, so we said that how we showed how everything is included in the Ma'amar V'Chano, and we said that he said one time we went in the way, and the Likutei Yama told me between one gala to another there's Tlat Me'aparsi v'chol, the tzaddik is taking the neshamas of all the people, all the nefashos of all the people that come to him, and lift them up, and creates yichud of Kodesh Likutei, and it lifts them up to Marbata de Koch Vezuto. This is the sleeping chamber, the lying chamber of the bed chamber of the small star, which is the Shechina, because the Shechina, when it wants to be together with the husband, it constricts herself. It becomes smaller. It's called Koch Vazut. It's called a small star. And it says how small is it? 40 griva balza de chalgalo, as small, that this small star was as small as the area which is necessary to sow 40 measures of mustard seed. And so we said this has to do with the union of the zivug of Kodesh Likutei. The process, we went through the process the last year, how the 40 malachim, 10 on each side, representing the four living entities of the chariot. And the Al-Khana continues, it says, V'i dalinen tfei, if we would have been elevated or thrown up any higher, have maklinan mehevlo, we would have been toasted, we would have burnt from the heat. And what is alluded to is as follows. Ki yesh hevel asher nasa al haaretz. There's a hevel, there's a thing that caused people a tumult. It's called nivel. You get scared, you get surprised, you get... it's called hevel. Asher nasa al haaretz, that happens, there's a thing that freaks people out, for lack of a better word. There's a fact of life that freaks people out, that really throws them for a loop. It's like, wait, whoa. They cannot digest it. Asher yesh tzadikim, that there are tzadikim, asher magia lehem, that comes to them, bad tidings, k'maser shoyim. And there are Rishonim that comes to them, toivo, like the tzaddikim would deserve. This is Ecclesiastes, whatever it's called in English, Koheles. But the day Hevel hazeh, into this Hevel, Rabim nispakru, many became Rishon, they lost their emunah. שרואים צדיק ורע לו, לא שווה טוב לו. To see a tzaddik is going through tremendous hardships in Yisurim, and the Rasha that, is waltzing all the way to the bank. It's like, so it looks to them as if HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't lead the world, because according to the way they understand things really should be, I think this is a little bit left out. Yeah. Okay. Boy. That according to their understanding, the tzaddik should have it good, and the Rasha should have it bad. Why is it going that way? It says, Ve'idalinen, however, if we were to elevate harbe nefashos, a lot of nefashos, azai bevadai have maklinen, then for sure we would have been maklinen, is, in other words, it is l'shon kula, Rabbeinu says. We would have lifted up that burden, that perplexity, this mind pretzel that people are busy with, mehavla, from this hevel, from this distorted fact. People wouldn't be so perplexed by this fact. The more you elevate nefashos, the more you cause the unification of Kodesh Baruch, the more Torah comes into the world, and the more complete and total hashgacha the world is being conducted, on a more straightforward divine manner. When there is hashgacha shleimo, so that paradox, that bad tidings come to tzaddikim and good tidings come to shoyim, lessons, because this is when the providential conduct of the world is being covered. That causes, bad tidings to come to tzaddikim and good tidings to come to a shoyim, because this is a star. Doesn't show that. But when you bring about more hashgacha, in other words, you take off the covering of the hashgacha, so you're lessening the occurence of tzaddik v'rala in Rosh Hashanah. You take it. So it says, if you, and Rabbi Moharan continues, v'ramyo galo kal lechaverte, in one wave, it lifted its voice to its friend. Chaverti, my friend, mishafkis midei ve'alma. He says, did you leave anything in this world, the lo shaftite, that you didn't wash out, you didn't neise ana v'nichale. If you left anything you didn't, let me come and wash it off and destroy it. What is alluded to in this particular dialogue, afterwards, all these nefashos, they come down from the Ibor, which is done by the tzaddik, when the tzaddik elevates the nefashos and renews them. But they are klolius, because when the tzaddik gathers everybody together, people, they melt into one another. They become one entity. What happened is that love is being added from one to the other. Then these are awakening the others. In other words, people, when they love each other, they watch out for each other. So when they see somebody that is having a tough time, they come and help them out. Because they're all friends. This is, can I help you? Can I, when there's no love, then it's soll sich schon, as they say, it's verbrennen, let it burn, I don't care. But when there's love between people, then they watch out for each other. they motivate one another. ואומרים זה לזה נטה one to the other, מזכירים זה, and they remind one another. אחי, my brother, שמא שובקס איזה מידה בעולם הזה, maybe you have left behind some kind of a midah in this world. שעדיין היא מושלת עליך, that it still controls you. Are you still watching movies? Are you still going on the internet? Are you still, talking too much to women? Are you still running after money too much? Are you still going through the motions when you're davening? I said, all these things, maybe have you left, maybe this is very delvo. Have you left any kind of midah be'alma, if you left any kind of midah in the world that still controls you? ואין אתה יכול להתגבר עליהם, you cannot overcome it. נעשנו, וניחווה, I will come and destroy it. היינו אסייע לך, לך לא יסס המידה הזאת ממך, I will help you eradicate that particular midah from you. Let's see if it's over here. Those people that come to the tzaddik is slowly that there should be love added between them. Rabbeinu said the Olam will be amazed by the love that will be between you. Rabbeinu says in Sefer Amidas, if you bring somebody closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he will love you. He will love you. Because as we said many times, the tachlis of friends is to remind each other for the emes. That's it. To tell each other the truth. There's a chaver tov. There's a chaver tov. It's all like this whole trip through this world. It's like, you're flying on a plane. And there's someone sitting next to you. And you're sitting next to them for 12 hours, you're going to New York, 12 hours. And you start talking. And you talk. You discovered a best friend. Mamas, you talk to them and this and that, and it's like, wow, it's unbelievable, And then the plane lands. And you go to get the luggage, and you see him, and he says, hi, just like, finished. You don't see him again. This world is like that. This world is like that. People think they have friends, they have this, they have that. What is a friend? It's like somebody who's sitting in the flight next to you. You go watch a game together, you go to a concert together, you go drinking together. I don't know. It's like, it's a friend. Maybe he lends you some money, you give him back, maybe you don't give him back, maybe you let him, he doesn't give back. The way of the world, whatever it is, and then it's gone. Then the plane lands. We all land. A real friend is somebody that reminds you, we're on a plane now. There's a tachlis right now. The tachlis is that we should get together and we should be mischazik with the tzaddik and remind each other of the greatness of the tzaddik, so that our emunah and the tzaddik will deepen, because the deeper your emunah and the tzaddik, the more you can get from him. It's like when you go to learn from a teacher. If you figure this teacher is a fool, you won't learn anything from him. But if if you figure that, wow, he's like out of this world, when you're coming, you listen and you get from him, like the deeper emunah that you have in the tzaddik, the more tikkunim you can get from the tzaddik. Because you become, the Rebbe says, with the emunah you're being eaten by the thing you believe in.
Because you accept from him to change you.
But it's even deeper than that. It's you mamash become him. You become a part of him. You become like a limb of the tzaddik. When you're giving your retainers, to the tzaddik, as we said, this is aliyas nefoshes. As you bring your retainers to the tzaddik. What is this thing that makes this hand my hand? I mean, I cannot go and slap somebody and say, I hit you, I didn't hit you, my hand hit you. Go to the hand from me. I can't do that, because the hand doesn't have a will of its own. Only what I want, the hand does. It was once many years ago, it was a funny movie with the guy that had Dr. Strangelove, the hand wanted to Peter Sellers, remember him? In the 60s. So he was a German scientist, and his hand had its own will. And it was you can't. The idea is you want to become a hand by the tzaddik. But your emunah in the tzaddik, this is how you become a hand by the tzaddik. And we explain the meaning of Shmiras Habris about this Tikkun Habris about this particular Inish. We'll get to that particular Nekuda. But the main thing is the love between one another, to help one another that has a problem with a midah. You can wake up in the morning, or you can do this, you can do that, whatever it is, without getting too much into his beeswax, too much into his business, but help him out, help your friend out. Maybe there's a midah that you have in this world that is controlling you, you can't overcome it. Let me come and overcome it. In other words, I will help you, eradicate this bad midah from you. Ve'eshiv lo, and the second wave told him, Puk chazik b'ur demarach. Come and see the mightiness, the might of your master, of the tzaddik. Shehu hachacham anam. Re'eh kama koichoi godol. Come and see how great his power is. De'afilo kim lo chuta dechal es de'oval. What is chuta dechal? Even as Rabbeinu Shmuel says, even afilo kim lo rocha v'chut lo yacholti latzes chutz min hachol. Even as a hairbreadth, I couldn't get over, from the border of the sand. The sea, tsunami, this, that. Most of the world is sea. How come the world doesn't come? The sea doesn't go and wash the entire world. Many areas which are precariously sitting, some are even lower than the sea. In Holland and everything it's lower than the sea. He says there's a rule. HaKadosh Baruch Hu put a border for the sea to come up to here. That's it. And when there is Lo Aleinu Din in the world, all the HaKadosh Baruch Hu does is just lift up that blockage. It's called a tsunami. Boom. You have hundreds of thousands of people on the spot. People don't realize. The Puk Chazik B'ur Demarach, it doesn't let me go even a hairbreadth from where the sand, from over the sand. It says Perush over here, Rabbeinu says, Al-Pi, this particular Torah, this is what it means. You're asking me, you're so verhitzt, you're all worked up, and he says did you leave anything that you still haven't corrected, haven't Teide Chaverti, you should know, my friend. שעדיין היא משוקה בכל הטייבס ein, seeped deep, deep, deep in all the taivas, all of them. ועדיין לא יצאתי מן החול הקודש אפילו כמלוא החוט. I did not leave, the choil, the secular realm, to the kodesh, the lay, to the even a hairbreadth. I've been left. Okay, now you're no longer there, now we're here. Somebody was in such a madrega, such a low madrega, bevadai leste over. In other words, bevadai, how could he come in Ibor, his neshama to elevate and get renewed in the Ibor of Yichud Kosha B'chush Chintei? You're still, grabbing all the taivas in your right hand, you're not letting go. How can you possibly go through this unbelievable metamorphosis, this total renewal of the neshama that happens in Yichud Kosha B'chush Chintei, in the womb, the spiritual womb of the Shekhinah? You're talking about madregas, the total unbelievable. You have to be totally divorced from Olam Hazeh. Totally divorced from Olam Hazeh. You have nothing what to do with Olam Hazeh. You're talking about regenerating yourself from scratch. It's a known thing, that people, they're very upset about certain midas by them. Why don't I dare to do this? Why don't I dare to do this? Why I keep on doing this? Why do I'm stingy, or why I'm nervous, or why I'm like this? And you can spend a whole lifetime with like that. The truth of the matter is, no, you don't want to let go. You don't want to let go. Somebody was a no goodnik. He's a failure. He's a loser. I'm a loser. You try to do. What happened? I don't know. It didn't feel good. A pig. And it bothers me a lot. Why am I losing? Everybody's succeeding and I'm a loser. I'm the only loser around. What's the story around? The answer is, being a loser works for me. What do you mean it works for me? I suffer terrible. Yeah, you suffer. But it still works for you. How does it work for me? It takes away responsibility from me. Oh, you have to move, you have to build. No. Hey, he will sit down and we'll take care of it. People leave you alone. They don't expect anything from you.
Talking about black room. Guys, stay in the black room. Talking to him. Go outside. There is sunshine, there is flower, No. I prefer resting in the black room. I know it very good. That's
right. People prefer the safety in known misery over the uncertainty of Bevadai. So we are not willing to let go of the taivas, of character defects. How can we possibly be renewed? Go be Ibor. It's an impossibility. God says, take it away from me. Let go. But you can't. He says, I haven't left anything. He says, Bevadai leste over. Bevadai I cannot go in Ibor. She'i efshar lavo b'chinas Ibor. In other words, to elevate his neshama and be renewed. Ve'af al pichem. Pug chazi gvura demarach. Come check out the mighty strength of your master, the koch of the chacham. Shekol kach koch chazak, that his power is so great, ad she'afilu nefesh sheli ela be'ibo. Even my nefesh, he elevated in the Ibor. We'll talk about it some more. I just want to see this. V'zeh Perush, this is what it says. Ashrei Am. Ashrei Am edet tru asher be'or panecha yalecho. That's what we say in Rosh Hashanah. Ashrei Am, we say Ashrei is on shul, is istaklus, is seeing. Zeh b'chinas hashgacha, because Ashrei is istaklus. Ashureinu v'lo, it means I will see it. Yoyne Trua, that knows Trua, he says Zeh b'chinas Yaakov, which says the Trua is keneged the Tiferes. Tkiya is Chesed, Shvarim is Gvura, and Tkiya is Tiferes. So this is Yaakov. B'chinas Tiferes. Yaakov u'b'chinas Tzedakah. Yaakov constitutes the midah of Tzedakah. Kmo shekosov mishpat u'tzedakah beYaakov at asiso. In this particular pasuk gives you the connection between Yaakov and Tzedakah. That's why Yoyde Trua, the no Trua, which is Yaakov, alludes to Tzedakah. Also, when we explain the midah of the Tiferes, we also call it Tiferes the midah of the Rachamim. Why is it midah of the Rachamim? Because Chesed alone is unworkable. You can't feed a baby with a pail of milk. There has to be constriction, right? Gvura, you can't feed a baby with a closed nipple of a bottle. A bottle with a closed nipple will starve to death. Tiferes is when you take the nipple, which is the tzimtzum, and you put a hole in it to let the chesed through.
Yeah.
And the size of the hole is according to the ability of the baby to receive. So the Tiferes is a true rachamim, is a true mercy, the true compassion. To go ahead and give a kid $1 million, go play, that's no rachamim, that's no tzedakah. You're not doing him any favors. You're killing him. Real tzedakah is that you help people according to their need, according to their capacity to handle it. So B'chin of Yaakov, which is Tiferes, it's tzedakah, it's true tzedakah. So Yoyde Trua is Merames of tzedakah. Hashem. This is B'chinas Havayos, B'chinas Chasodim, because Shem Havaya is the Chesed. Behor Panecho, this is the Seichel. Kmo shekosuv Chochmas Odom Toyu Panom. The face is O Panecha. Besides, we say or upon him also in Torah Chafei. In Torah Chafei we say that the or upon him is there's menorah, there's pnei menorah, this the sechel chochmas adam toyu panov, that the wisdom of a person will illuminate his face. In Torah Aleph he says that this is ana panecha, where are you heading? That the chochma shines, illuminates the road, your ways in life, like the sun illuminates, so the aura upon him, the light of the face means this is the chochma of the face. This is the chochma that illuminates the face, illuminates your direction. Yeah, leichum. This talks about the nefashos. B'fchinas, as it is said, mehalach nefesh. The pasuk says, Tov mare naim, mehalach nefesh. Mehalach nefesh means a conduct of a nefesh. That the light that is entered the nefesh, because when all the returns come together, are gathered together by the tzaddik, it illuminates the nefesh. It enlightens the nefesh. This is mare naim. This is the sight of the eyes. That's the light that goes together with the nefesh and illuminates it. And since it says hiluch, the union of goes with, hiluch, legabe nefesh. The same thing is bo panecha ya'alechun. Ya'alechun talks about nefashos. So Mimele now the pasuk will be explained thusly. Ashream, this is the ashgocha that you are zoiche to it through the yoyde truah, through the tzedakah. Because through the tzedakah you're zoiche to Hashem, to Chesed, and through the Chesed you're zoiche to Opanecha, to the Seichel. And through the Seichel you are elevating the Ya'alechun, the Nefashos, and with this you're zoiche to Mamshich Torah in the world, and this is how the ashgocha comes to the world. And he says, now he's also saying, the Maimon says, in the pasuk V'ru Kol Basar Yachdov, and Ramosan adds like this: Od Matzasi Ksav Yad Rabbeinu Zichron Levacha. I found also in the handwriting of Rabbeinu Zichron Levacha, which is Shach this Torah. Ach Matzasi Rach Ktsei Aniyar. I just found the edge of the paper. V'lo Nichtav Sham Rak Sofer Shel Inyan. The only thing that was written there is just the end of what the Rebbe says, and the beginning is missing. And this is what it said. It says in the pasuk, "V'nigla," it says, "V'nigla kvod Hashem, Baruch Hu Basar Yachdav K'pi Hashem Diber." He says what is alluded to in this particular pasuk is this: Re'u is Ra'u Chol Basar, and every basar will see. Re'u is a Torah Shebchina Seir, the Torah which in that particular aspect of sight, Tanta, the by bringing down Torah to the world, which says there is in the Torah is Tamim Nekudas Tagim Oisius, which corresponds to the three colors of the eye.
Three colors?
The three colors, yes. and the basar, and the pupil of the eye, which is a sight instrument. We explained when we learned it before that you see that all the olamas are sometimes it's Atzilus, Bria, Yetzirah, Siyah, and then Yud K Vav K, and Aleph Dalet Nun Yud, and the Shemes, the Miluim of Ag Sag Ma Ban, and some tantas, tagim, nekudas. These are all synonyms. These are all different names for the same thing. Why do you need different names for the same thing? It's not a different name for the same thing. What it is, the Torah is not one thing. It's like medicine. With this, we explained it. We use this mashal again and again and again. Somebody has pain in his knees. According to Western medicine, go to MRI, go to this, you see there's a problem with the tendons, a little bit of this, a little that, whatever it is. According to Eastern medicine, there's a blockage in the meridian that brings the chi to the area. It causes whatever it is. If you take this, you put a needle in the ear, I don't know whatever it is, takes it on, and chiyas come to the area, and the body heals itself. So which one of them is right? They're both right. But this one is looking from this perspective, and this is looking from this perspective. Sometimes it is more efficient to look at it from the Western perspective. For instance, trauma medicine. Western medicine trumps Eastern medicine for trauma treatment. ER, whatever medicine or whatever it is, hands down. And for other things, in Likutei Moharan, the Rebbe brings you each time the kind of medical system, so to speak, that is spoiled that particular pe'ula. The creativity that is going into what's going on here. Because these are real structures. This is not words. This is real structures that work. When the Rebbe said the Torah, this is what was happening. When we are learning the Torah, this is what is happening. When the tzaddik brings down, the Torah comes down, it comes down b'vchinas Tanta. Tanta, from that particular perspective, that kind of medical system, Tanta is the structure of the divine sight of Hashgacha, of providential Hashgacha to the world. So when the Torah comes down, it's Kaviochu, the sight, the world, Kadosh Baruch Hu sees the world. When this is happening, when this is happening, because the Torah that comes down comes up b'chinas Tanta, which is b'chinas sight. Kol basar yachdov, all flesh together. Ze b'chinas lekitas nefashos kulam. This is the gathering together of all the nefashos. B'chinas lokeach nefashos chacham. The chacham takes all the nefashos and he elevates them. Ki pi Hashem diber. All this is done through the Ruach Nadiva, through the spirit of generosity. Which is Pi Hashem. This is the b'china of Pi Hashem. As Chazal said, Livrocho beficho. As Chazal said, beficho tzedakah. When in your mouth, that roots tzedakah. What did you make a neder for tzedakah? The beficho is tzedakah. So the Pi Hashem, so you made the mouth, and the mouth talked about tzedakah. Pi Hashem is talking about tzedakah because it is through that tzedakah that you cool off and you obliterate the taivas moment, the greediness. And with this, you bring about chesed, and this brings about wisdom, and with this is elevated nefashos. Ad kan l'shoynim. We move on adovo, and it is self-evident, self-understood. Shemevi amikro v'niglo kvod Hashem v'ro chol basar yachdo k'pi Hashem diber. And the honor of Hashem has been revealed, and all flesh shall see together, for it is the mouth of Hashem that has spoken. Now this explains all this particular manum, which is explicit in this particular verse. We're missing the meaning of the ratio of the crown. Another important nakuda to bring about, with this we finish the story, but a very important nakuda to bring about when we finish this particular Torah. We learn the story. So, okay, there is point A to point B to point C to point D. So, you know that by cooling off Taras Mammon, you bring about Chesed, you bring about Das, you bring about this, and then the Chacham is elevated in the Fossis, the Ibor, Yichoshat Moshe, Torah comes down, chulu, chulu, chulu. Okay. We don't have a clue what we're talking about. We see in front of our eyes a certain structure that talks about tikkunim, which are completely and totally beyond our das. Totally. It is so extremely important. The most important nekuda for us to take out of this is, first of all, it is obvious to anybody who learns this Torah that this Torah is, the only way that you can say it is it is forced. You know, the Torah, the Rebbe took a saga which is completely beyond human intellect and pushed it into a Torah somehow, you know, this, okay, I get it, you know, that kind of thing. But the essence of the story is totally beyond us. The story is a pele otzom. Okay, we started, Baruch Hashem, we got to the end, Yofi. But there's one thing that we need to take that at least Lefi Anis Daiti, that we need to take is over here, is that dialogue between the two waves calling to one another. Have you left anything in this world that you still didn't correct? He says, whoa man, I haven't even started. I'm still holding onto my shtuyot, onto my taivas. I haven't, and I don't have the koyach to say stop. I haven't hit rock bottom yet. I don't want to hit rock bottom. I'm sort of like tagging along, and I'm neither here and I'm not there. I'm not in this world. I'm not in the next world. I'm not in Gan Eden. I'm not in Gehinnom. I don't know where I am. In order for me to be mischadesh, to be reborn, the first thing, I mean, if you go to Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever it is, the first thing you get, stop drinking, right? The first thing you have to do, you can't start recovering until you stop drinking, right? Or whatever it is that you do, or gambling, or whatever. You can't do it. Puk Chazik Vur the Malach, come see the mightiness of the tzaddik. That even though you haven't stopped drinking, even though you haven't given up on the shtuyot, even though I'm still steeped in all the taivas, I can already elevate my nefesh.
No matter what you do.
As long as I do whatever it is that I can. As long as I do whatever, Rabbeinu says, without you I can't. Without me you can't, but without you I can't. You have to want, you have to bring to the table.
This is a link. The only thing I must do is a link.
Is?
The link between me and the tzaddik zeh.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
The link between that and the fact that you want. You are makabel to do whatever it is you can. Sometimes the only thing you can do is you can put on film before Shkia, that's it. You can't daven, you can't learn, you can't do anything. Sometimes even this you can't do. Before Shkia, okay, let's just put on film, take it off. That's it. As long as you're holding by the tzaddik, he can take your nefesh with your good ritzonos and your bad ritzonos and take everything out and elevate you and renew you. Then it says every time that you remember, that you remind yourself of me, you become como cotton chanela, like a newborn baby.
What do you mean by renew? White?
Renew is that you begin again, everything is possible. It's no longer a cross on you that is finished.
Okay.
And what is actually being done with you, what everything happened to you, it becomes, as Rabbeinu says in Sefer Amidas, Da, sheyesh inyan shenisapech hakol ha'tova. That everything flips over and becomes good. Even all the bad that you did.
I didn't make tshuva.
You're making tshuva. That's the whole idea. That when you come, this is that when the tzaddik elevates your nefesh, you get Hirul Tshuva. This is what it does to you. But Hirul Tshuva is, we figure we want to see proof. Hirul Tshuva, I want to see myself a new person. I already did it. I finished. I got over it, and blah blah blah. What is it? I'm done.
It was on your mind.
But Hirul, you don't know what it is. As long as you do what you can do, in the hands of the tzaddik, you're being totally renewed. With the good and the bad, and everything gets brand new. And the Kodesh Baruch Hu deals with you with the shgacha. And as long as you don't give up, no matter what happens to you, as long as you don't give up, yesh inyan shenisapech hakol ha'tova. Ashreinu, 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 billion times ashreinu, that was Zohar HaMizkav to Rabbeinu. Ashreinu, אין סוף times. עד כאן Likutei Moharan.